Okay, so have you heard that I'm recording the program right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start. Okay. So please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. You're welcome to this program. You're welcome to cybersecurity training, sponsored by Fingerprints Digital. I will be your host for today. My name is Simeon Ajumobi, or let me say I'm going to be your host for all the program. So it's going to be a very big, comprehensive introduction to ethical hacking. It's going to be a very, very big introduction. It's going to be hands-on lab. You're going to be comfortable with using Kali Linux, understand all what the bash script means. You're going to be a Kali Linux expert user. In this course, you are going to be working on the offensive part, and you're going to be also working on the defensive part of cyber security. So starting with the program, this is the red team. Red team are the people who are penetration testers, while the blue team are the people who are the defenders. Who they may not know how to penetrate, but they could know how to launch little attacks, and they will be able to defend any kind of attack whatsoever it could be it phishing attack, whatever things they could do that from their own end. So moving forward, we are going to be exploring the fascinating world of ethical hacking, especially what it's actually the meaning of hacking, who does it, and why is it one of the most critical fields in cybersecurity today. So by the end of this presentation, you will have a solid foundation in ethical hacking concepts and in its terminologies. So the person that's going to be taking you today is actually um, my humble self. My name is Simeon Ajumobi, and I'm a certified information security consultant. And I'm also a certified professional forensic analyst, and I'm also a certified ethical hacker. So I actually started with this. I was actually a certified ethical hacker before I became a information security consultant, and later I became just recently I became certified professional forensic analysis and a SOC analyst expert. So going forward, we'll be looking at all these concepts in this module. This particular module is structured, though we will not be covering everything in this module and this course because of the time frame. This course is developed to cover like 3 months, 3 month course. Even some people could take it for like 6 months. So in 3 months course, I can't complete all this, but I'm going to look at how I'm going to be touching each and every one of them. We're going to be working on introduction to ethical hacking, introduction to Kali Linux. You're going to be very good in operating Kali Linux. I bet you're going to be very, very good in operating the Kali Linux, know about batch scripting, little of Python, command lines, and even when you don't know Python at all before. What does anonymity means? Reconnaissance, sniffing, port scanning, and emulation. We'll be looking at vulnerability analysis. We're going to be looking at some password hacking. How do black hat hackers hack password? We'll be looking at server hacking. I will be looking at about system hacking, my favorite. I love system hacking and I also love server hacking. So we'll be looking at hacking wireless network. We'll be looking at denial of service. I love this also. We'll be looking at denial of service. We'll be looking at social engineering. All hackers must know this. And all cybersecurity experts must know what social engineering is. Social engineering is all about human personality and also with tools. And most times, social engineering is being done through email, trying to trick your victim into clicking a particular link and dropping their what do we call it now, their credentials or their details, or tricking your victim into clicking a link or opening a particular picture or opening a particular file, and At the end of that, behind that file is what we call a particular virus. And the process of doing that is called cryptography and steganography. You understand what cryptography means. So when you are done with your cryptography and steganography, you're going to use social engineering to deploy it to your victim. And we're going to be looking at web application testing. So we are going to be making use of this tool. Before we dive into the ethical hacking, we need to set up our laboratory. All attacks in this course will be performed in a controlled environment. I would like you to know that we're not going to be attacking um, um, any real life victim. We are going to be setting up a lab. I'm going to be setting up a virtual environment, a virtual lab for Windows 10 system, Windows 7 system, Windows 11 systems, and you can hack them as it is. So if I teach you with Windows 10, you could try a Windows 11, get the IP address, and try to ping it, hack it, and know what you can do and see how you can destroy the system. You can see how you can get the password or bypass the password, or send a remote backdoor to it that you can make you get a connection from that system, and you can ping in, you can move in into it, and you can actually download all files that is inside that system. So Oracle VirtualBox is going to be our hypervisor, and our hypervisor of choice, hypervisor simply means a virtual box means a software where you can actually have all your machines installed that simulates a real life occurrence. So it's free. That is why we are choosing it, and it's an open source, and it runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux. So you can go to this link to download it, and you can also visit Google and just search download virtual Oracle VirtualBox. You can say Oracle VirtualBox. So when you download Oracle VirtualBox, click on the first download link, and you click on Windows host. You click on download here, and you click on Windows host. When you click on Windows host, it begins to download. You see it, it begins to download. So I've downloaded that. I'm not going to be downloading that all over again. So we're going to be making use of Oracle VirtualBox, and for that is for our hypervisor, for our test environment, and the main primary tool that we're going to be making use is called Kali Linux. Kali Linux. Okay, let me tell you a little introduction about Kali Linux. Kali Linux did not actually start as Kali Linux. The first tool it starts with is called Backtrack. We have Backtrack 2, Backtrack 4, Backtrack 5, and so on. So after a while, it is a particular kind of testing environment or security penetration testing tool, or like an operating system that is used for penetration testing to test out what is the security of a particular organization. And after they've had over 600 pre-installed tools that comes with it for ethical hacking, the name was in some time turned to Kali Linux. So it's been done by Linux operating system. So it runs Linux operating system. So it's a tool that we are going to be using for the pure hacking. And though we are going to be using some other tools, like you will not believe that WinRAR can be used for hacking. WinRAR can be used to hack. That is, you can use WinRAR to perform cryptography. You can use WinRAR to perform steganography. So it's not going to be only Kali Linux. So we have more. I don't know, maybe during the course of this class, you might be able to share your screen. And personally, from your own side at that place, I might tell you to do your very first hacking, which you're going to be carrying out on Mr. Williams. That is in the person of the CEO. of the that gave us this platform to have this class. I might tell you to hack him, and if you finally hack him, he needs to give you a particular kind of reinforcement to pay you money, not to blackmail him with particular kind of hacking. And I want you to share his screen and let's see if he's safe. And if he's not safe, let's see how you can social engineer him and get out some passwords to some sites from him, because this is actually one of the first hacking I knew in earliest time, and that's almost everybody. I can tell you, even cybersecurity experts, as far as their personal systems or their work systems, almost victims of this, especially if you are a Google user. If you are a Google account user, you are going to be a kind of mostly we are always a victim of this. So I want to know if you are still with me. Can you unmute and confirm if you are still with me in this program?
Yes, sir.
That's good. And you are following, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so going forward, like I said, Kali Linux has more than 600 penetration tools, and it also carries out some. It has some tools that you can use it to carry out some forensic analysis. It can use it to do some forensic mode. It can listing, like we have apps such as, I don't know if I should enter the lab right now. If I should enter the lab right now, it has some apps which you can use to listen to traffic. This is Kali Linux. So you can listen to traffic if anybody powers on any kind of thing, anybody do anything. You can use Kali Linux to listen to where they are sending their message to, where they are doing all these kind of things too. So you can intercept, be a man in the middle, listen to, or you call it eavesdropping, listen to what they are doing, how they are which sites are they visiting, which username and password are they dropping their things on, or which username and password are they using. So I started my machine. My Kali Linux is opening right now. I want to see if I can show you, but since this is still an introduction, maybe I will pause that. I feel I shouldn't talk about this at the moment. Let me just cut this and continue with my introduction. Let me stop my machine and continue with my introduction. We'll get there. We'll get there. So wireless attacks, you can use Kali Linux to perform some wireless attacks and some web app testing. I love this part. I love web app testing, and I pray that I have the grace to be able to show you how we can hack some sites, some HTTP sites. We'll set up the lab ourselves, we'll set up the server, then we'll set up the clients that visit the site, we intercept it, change it, and tell the person you have been hacked. See how we can intercept a web app, and we can. So we're going to be making use of a Metasploitable. I love Metasploitable a lot. Metasploitable is a kind of a software that has been built purposely to have vulnerabilities. You understand what vulnerabilities means when I enter into the explanation of terms. So Metasploitable is a machine that was built for educational purpose only. So it is used in isolated lab environment, like when you install it here, when you install it in your virtual machine, um, you will be able to attack it, and that is the same way you can attack real life servers. It's a web server, it's a Linux server, it's everything. It hosts a lot of things. It's an FTP server. It's everything that you can use to test how you can hack, or how you can practice penetration testing on real life targets. So whatever works here, the same method you use on Metasploitable is the same method that people use in real life to hack your website, or your web server, your web app, and everything. It has a lot of things that is already installed inside of it. So to practice ethical hacking legally, you need a vulnerable target like this. Though there are other targets online also, live from people who has built vulnerable websites for you to practice that are susceptible to SQL injection and so on and so forth, cross-site scripting and every password guess and so on. Like if you go to sites like Hack the Boss, if you go to sites like Hack the Boss, I would like you to play with Hack the Box. If you go to sites like Hack the Boss, you would see a lot and lot of online see validate your readiness. You have to finish the Hack the Boss this thing, and it's not only Hack the Boss. We have some other tools. You can begin your journey as an individual. They are all online. They are online version of hacking lab online that you are going to use to learn also. But when we talk about something you are developing manually yourself, we are going to be making use of Metasploit table. So Hack the Boss has a way they will tell you to bypass a particular kind of site or a particular kind of web app, which is hosted inside their server using whatever thing they want to do or whatever skill you have learned or you think you've known. So look at this. It has an FTP backdoor that you can remote connect to. It is built with weak passwords. It has web vulnerabilities. It has unpatched services. It has a lot of things and some SMTP exploits that you can use to practice and say this is what you've been able to do. So Bbox is a ridiculously vulnerable web app. Like I told you, a web app is like a portal, like a school portal. Anything that asks you to enter a username and password, those kind of things are that has database are called web applications. So this is also a web app that is vulnerable, has weak password developed by hackers for hackers to test how it can be easy to hack sites with CSRF, broken authentication, cross-site scripting attacks, and SQL injections. So going forward, this is actually the module 1 where the journey actually begins. So we will explore the ethical hacking and what it really means. What does it do? And which one is the most exciting and most important part of the career in technology today? So by the end of this module, you have a solid foundation in information security concept. You understand who is an ethical hacker, what are the types of hackers do we have, attribute of secured data, 5 phases of attack, commonly used terminologies, ethical hacking versus penetration testers, and ways penetration testing are being conducted, and what are cyber crimes and cyber laws. So by the time you complete this module, you will know the difference between ethical hacking and malicious hacking. You will know what is actually the difference, how to classify different types of hackers. You will know the 3 pillars of information security. You will know the 5 phases of hackers and follow when attacking system, how the hackers follows when they want to hack a system, and the essential cybersecurity terminologies, and how penetration testing differs from ethical hacking, and the legal framework governing cybersecurity in Nigeria. So let's begin. So these are the topics we're going to be looking into. So what is an ethical hacker? An ethical hacker is a person who is hired and permitted by an organization to hack its system for the purpose of identifying vulnerabilities, which an attacker might take an advantage of. So it's like you having a kind of organization or application that you built, you want to launch, and you are looking at that application is going to be dealing with money. Let me give you an example of this application. It could be a CBT software where people need to be paying with their card, their ATMs, before they can make use of it. It could be a e-commerce website where people are going to be buying a lot of things with their cards transferring with USSD and PayPal. You know all these kind of things that deals with money. Hackers are automatically drawn to them. It could even be your company's website where all your staffs are logged into, and your accountant is putting a lot of confidential image documents into. In order not to blackmail your company, you need to call a penetration tester, a white ethical hacker, give him permission, give him time, and you guys sign a consent, and it carries out the hacking. And after carrying out the hacking, it tells you what are the loopholes that are inside your Office application, be it server, be it web app, be it your database, be it anything, even including your Wi-Fi. You call them and they test all these things for you. So, who is an ethical hacker? In a simple word, an ethical hacker is someone who is giving permission, to hack. Somebody who is giving the permission to hack is an ethical hacker. So if you are giving permission, you are ethically hacking. And if you are doing it for your own malicious intention and you're not being given the intention, you are actually going through a malicious thing. So these are types of hackers. In the last class, I explained this into details. So I'm just going to be going around it. I'm just going to be going around it in a very fast method. So the types of hackers that we have are 7 in numbers. I don't know if they are beyond that now, but standard certified ethical hacking handbooks, you are going to be saying 7. So the first person is white hat hacker, which we are, which I am, which you are going to be. As a cybersecurity expert, it's possible you're going to be a white hat hacker. And a white hat hacker is a security professional, a licensed security professional employed to find vulnerabilities and works with permission. They are being permitted to work with permission. Black hat hacker are criminal hackers. They use skills for malicious purpose to gain for their own personal gain, to make money. You can know of Hush Puppy, what it does. That's a very good example. It goes about hacking government officials and every other thing. We have grey hat hackers. So these are people that stands between a white hat hacker and a black hat hacking skills. They could be white today, they could be black tomorrow, or situations could make them black. Maybe due to a company does not pay them or something like that, and they want to revenge, or a particular person that's been aggravated by a particular thing the company does. Maybe like they sack him for no reason. It could turn to a black hat hacker, and also a white hat hacker could turn gray due to too much of offer, or I can call it, I don't want to call it frustration, I can call it maybe someone being enforced, like under threat. So when a white hat hacker is being kidnapped under threat and being forced to bring down the company he's working for, which is not in his own intention, he could be called a gray hat hacker. So in one way, almost every white hat hacker could become a grey hat hacker, and almost all black hat hacker could become white hat hacker. Why? Because we've heard of criminals that was kidnapped in US that hacked Obama's account in 30 minutes, hacked the CIA, hacked the FBI's, and they caught them, and instead of jailing them, they recruited them into the FBI to be securing and be catching hackers for them. So examples of that are black hat hackers turn white hats. We have elite hackers. Elite hackers is, let me say, is the biggest of them all. They have deep knowledge of exploits and they can create or modify any code. So elite hackers are hackers that knows programming. They know programming very well. They are programmers and they understand the development of a particular system they are working with. So if you build a particular portal from scratch and you are securing that portal and something happened, you would know how to write an exploit to test your portal and you can have access to it because you know where there are loopholes inside your portal. And even if it's not your own particular one, if it's for other people, they know how it was developed. They know how they can develop it and they know how to write an exploit. So if an exploit spoils, they know what to do to move on and get access. Activists. Activists are people who work for a cause, maybe political cause, social cause, or human rights. So if the government is not treating them well, they could hack a particular government foundation website, such as the I don't want to mention them, let's just as the foundations or organizations or arms of governments. They hack them and post an instruction on it, giving the government ultimatum or instruction for the government to do something. For example, if you are an activist, or let me say, activists can post to protest against government's hike in tax rates. Hike in tax rates. When the tax of government is too much, activists can hack a government-owned website and protest on that website saying, bring down the tax or we will not release this website for you. Those are activists. And also activists can hack a government parastatal, hack into their network, get money out of it and share it to people. I Let me cover this ISP network provider, such as the ones we have in Nigeria now. I will not mention specifically. We have MTN, Airtel, we have Etisalat, then we have Globalcom, and we have other ones, multiple ones. We have Starcoms and so on. This one of these aforementioned ISPs, network providers, was hacked during a particular campaign for NSAS. They were hacked and over 6 million naira was deducted from their accounts. And what did they do? These people did not send it to themselves. They send it to everybody using that network. They recharge everybody, both young and adults. People who could get as much as they can get. People just woke up and they start seeing 1,000 recharge card on their SIM. So these are activists. They did it for a particular purpose and say, if you don't end SARS, we will do more than this. This is just a warning. So those are activists. Suicide hackers are people who act without regard or consequences or jail time. Those are called the aggrieved hackers. People who don't care what will happen. They want to hack and if they are caught, fine. If they are killed, fine. They just want to destroy something. We call them the destroyers, and they throw cautions into the wind. They don't mind what will come out of it. So we have script kiddies. Script kiddies are seen to be like Yahoo guys, and they lack technical knowledge. Some of them are illiterate. Most of them don't go to school. Some of them are not. They just can use computer. They can just press computer. They know how to click here, click here, click here. What they do is they buy tools, already developed tools by maybe the elite hackers or the black hat hackers. And most of the place they get these tools is from the dark web, because we have 3 types of web. We have the normal web, just like the one you are going to in this .com and everything. I think we have this web in 3 or 4 forms right now. There's just a new one I just joined, and I'll mention it. So we have the normal web, that is the physical web, that is the one me and you are visiting. These are the kind of websites in those webs. Those are Facebook, YouTube, Google, Instagram, TikTok, and every other site you can visit by clicking.com and you sign in, or you can just read something on that website. Then we have the deep web. The deep web are webs that hide some information, some deep informations that you need to do some kind of multi-factor authentication, confirm this and that. In fact, multiple confirmations before you can log in into those websites. And I would like to give you this as an assignment to give me 5 examples of deep webs. What is a deep web? And 5 examples of deep web. And the next one is the dark web. This is where hackers stays. Dark web is a very bad place, I tell you. I don't know if in this course I might take you the concept of dark web, and I might explain it to you and visit some places, and you will be scared about the things you'll be seeing. Permit me to say this. I don't know, this disclaimer, this is for educational purpose. It is not what I am teaching you to do this for a bad intention, because I am being governed by cyber um, cyber laws. So I just know it for my own this thing, for my own knowledge, and for me to know when works are on dark web or what happens on dark web. So one way or the other, dark web are places where you can buy people's accounts, username and password, legit usernames and password. Dark web is a place where you can order for guns, you can buy firearms in dark web, and they will deliver it to the entrance. You can deliver it to the entrance. I'll possibly send a video after this class of an hacker who is known to be one of the guy in dark web. He did a live show of what they can do in dark web. You can buy a human meat. Human meat. There's a site for human meat in the dark web. You can employ the service of a hired killer. You pay him, you don't know him, he doesn't know you, he does his job and he goes. There are a lot of things. I can tell you, I'll send the site to the video to you, you will watch it. Trust me, even the things that these guys were showing, where they were, you see pedophiles, you can watch people, you can even see a site for showing videos where people are torturing people. So dark web is a place where these script kiddies goes into, buy tools from hackers to perpetrate some kind of hacking they don't really know about. If this tool spoils, if this tool got destroys, that is the end. They have to find money and pay again. So these are the 7 types of hackers, and you know which one you belong to. Definitely, without any gainsaying, I would say you belong to the white hat hacker as a cybersecurity expert, because your job is to protect your company, your organization, and even yourself against all the remaining 6 unethical hackers. So this is a full description of a white hat hacker. I've said that is a kind of hacker. This kind of hacker is often referred to as a security professional. That is you. You're a penetration tester, you're an ethical hacker, and you're a security personnel or professional, such as I and you. And a black hat hacker is known as a cracker. These are the people that cracks a network to be able to gain access into that network. They are crackers, and this kind of hackers is referred to as the bad guys. Actually, when I'm doing some kind of trainings in some cybersecurity um, place or situations or conferences. Anytime I'm speaking about cybersecurity, most times we refer to these guys as the bad guys come, the bad guys do. So those people we call the bad guys are malicious actors. They are threat perpetrators. They are criminal hackers. And I don't know where to classify these people. You know, when you download some softwares, and these softwares need you to pay some amount of dollars, maybe in conversion to naira, you might pay close to 300,000, 500,000, and you can't pay, especially for sites like they can give you free games. These people will actually help you to crack your game, play the game for free, yes, but while you use that crack, one way or the other, underneath in your system, a particular what do we call it? A particular backdoor, a particular malware has dropped into your system, it's not going to cause any harm to your files. Your system will work perfectly fine. But note, they are using your system resources. They are using your system resources to harness and mine Bitcoin. I repeat again, they will help you to crack a software that is supposed to cost you a lot of money. And after using this software, you crack it and everything, you are playing that game or you're using the software, you're using that particular app for free or anything like that, and you didn't pay to get it from a legitimate source, they will drop or attach. I'm going to be showing that in this class. They will attach a kind of a malware into that crack that they develop. By the time you double click it, something is going on at the back of the screen. Something's going on underground. It has dropped and it is already inside your processor and your RAM. And you just notice that your system is getting slow. You don't know why your system is getting slow. The only way you can do it, even antivirus cannot pursue them again, the only way you can do it is by going to Elite Hackers to troubleshoot, do some very strong scanning to discover where all these kind of viruses are. Go there, delete them manually, or you format your system entirely and start all over. And if case is not taken, if it's not attached to any file, that means you are free. But if it's attached to any file and you back up that file and you restore it back to your system, you continue from where you are. So some of them will be using your system resources to harness and mine cryptocurrency for themselves. While they are sleeping, they are making money, but they will not touch your files, so you will not suspect them. I don't know why I can classify those ones, but I would put them under black hat hacker, but not actually a malicious threat hacker, just using your system resources to make money for themselves by hacking, by I can say by using your system resources to mine cryptocurrency for themselves. So it's for their financial gain, it's for data thefts, it damages system, and it is an illegal activity. So a black hat hacking is a criminal offense punishable by imprisonment. I would not advise you to be caught in such situation. I've explained grey hat hacker and what they can do. The grey hat hacker is an intermediate hacker between the white and the black hat hacker, and due to some reasons, they might disclose vulnerabilities and one way or the other for their own personal gain. An elite hacker, also refers to as the lead, is someone with deep knowledge of exploits. They can build exploits, they can modify code, and they have zero-day discovery and deep system knowledge of how things works. We call them the aristocracy. So we have the activists, those who act for some political gain or social justice, like I said, for social justice. Example of these hackers are anonymous. They are still out there today. They have not been caught, and this kind of hackers are still out there till today. See, famous example is the anonymous group. They are fighting for human rights, and the only people they attack is the government. So the suicide hacker are the people who act for some purposes. They don't bother to suffer long time jail due to their activities. They don't have any fear of consequences. They are reckless and they are extreme. And they launch attack in a very big way, and they can be tracked. They don't mind. So script kiddies are the wannabe hackers. They download tools, they use tools like I explained earlier, and without understanding how they work, you just use it and say, just double click, and the thing will run it for you. All those kind of things, and they are dangerous. They can cause damage, and they can even damage themselves. And they cannot fix whatever thing they break, and they'll be looking for computer experts to help them fix things. So what they do is they download tools. They don't understand the code. They can still cause them damage to themselves, and they can not fix broken exploits. What are the five phases of an attack? How do ethical hackers work? How do black hat hackers work? Everybody does this thing themselves and the same way. Everybody acts the same way, goes through the same process. So number one, reconnaissance. Reconnaissance. What does reconnaissance mean? So we're going to be looking into that. We're going to be understanding these phases and help us think like an hacker. So we're going to be looking at scanning. We're going to be looking at access, gaining access. We're going to be looking at maintaining access, and we're going to be looking at covering of tracks. The last class, I was able to use some tools like WHOIS to search some websites that gave us so much information about somebody very close to me, and we could see his phone number, we could see his email, we could see even his own, see everything. Who is tools does that. Who is tools does that. You can use that. Who is lookup? Go there, there are some who is tools. You can go to whois.com. You can click on who is, and we can just look at some websites. I don't want to shoot myself in the leg now. We can look at some websites, and we could, which website can we look at and see the details of who actually developed this website? Okay. I don't know if I should go with this. Let me see. Which website can I go for? Okay, maybe I should go. This is the website we used as testing that day, because I'm going to be uploading this video.
Can you check my own? Can you check my own
nice
website?
Yes, that's great. Please give me your website name. That's nice.
Okay, Amcam Construction.
So can you spell that for me?
AMKAMM construction.com.
Okay. Okay, so this is the site, akamconstruction.com. And when I was still learning hacking, there was a particular kind of things I could do that even if this person takes off this site and is no longer existing again, I can still go back in a very long time behind and search many years ago and search what was the person's traces, what version was he running at that particular time and things. So using WHOIS, you can put the name of the site there, search it, and let's see. So this is the person that hosted Amcam, and this is the contact form, and let's see. This is very good. Amcam construction, client transfer prohibited. That's good. I could say this is the site you hosted it from, parking.com, and you can see the registrar. So all these things, these guys have done something very good. This site is not. This is how you can test yourself as a cybersecurity expert. Mr. William, I would say you should clap for yourself for choosing these people. This is very, very good. This is very, very good. But it doesn't mean that we don't have other tools to search for you. This is just the very first and basic one for this class. But what I noticed you guys did here is that the company you used already understand how these tools works. They have cybersecurity experts who they've employed to make some reconnaissance about them, get it out, and by that they try their best ways to make sure that their client information is not out there for people who are trying to. But if I want to talk about social engineering and reconnaissance, trust me, there are tools I can use to bring out other things. Kali Linux does it. LinkedIn does it. I can get deep information from LinkedIn. Some other things does it, but other tools do some tools from reconnaissance tools from GitHub. We have a lot of them that can do that. But for the beginners, this thing, let's look at this site. I'm coming. What is the name of the site that you hosted it in? What's the name of the site that you hosted it in?
Hostinger.
Hostinga. Oh, in the list of sites, which is the best site for hosting, Hostinga is part of the first top 3. Hostinga, GoDaddy, and which one again? I remember their name one time, one particular kind of site like that. Look at this host, whogohosts.com is a particular company that does this kind of thing, but you can you see a whole company? Can you see something? Look, Ugo Host sells domain. Ugo Host is a company that sells domain. Let me show you ugohosts.com. They sell domain. And look at it, best web hosting company. Can you see? If they can be selling domains to people, this is one of the reasons I moved off from it. I want to host my WordPress. I want to host my web hosting, this and that, this and that. They might be saying, okay, no problem about it. They actually are selling SSL certificates, so you need to buy it and things like that, and you are secured by that. But even Ugo host themselves, look at, they are in Abuja. See, they host their server in Abuja. They even have in Lagos. They have in Lagos. This is the name of the company. This is the IANAID. This is their abuse email. This is the name of the owner, Ethan McPherson. This is his place in South Africa. This is his phone number. And this is Ethan at hostafrica.com. Look at his place in South Africa. See, it's in West Cape Town. You can actually track this person. You can track this person. These are reconnaissance, and it was even updated 3 days ago. Imagine, this is his recent update 3 days ago. So these are tools that you can use to make information. Sometimes you just wonder, somebody sends you email as if he knows you before, mention your name. Hi, good luck. Would you like to check our product? Where did they get that from? They use tools like email harvesters. We have tools like email harvesters. We have that in Kali Linux. We have that in different softwares. There was a particular software I was using at a particular time then, before I got my hands into Kali Linux. It was built by somebody and it is massive. It has over 200 tools and it can ping anything, it can trace routes, it can do. You just need to type in your name and it brings out some things about you. And do you know that ChatGPT also does that now? I can get your information from ChatGPT. There's a way I'll put some prompts and I'll get information I need to get, know what it can do. So after reconnaissance, I'll tell you the meaning. Scanning has its meaning. Gaining access is the next phase. Then maintaining the access is the next phase, and covering track is the next phase. So understanding these phases help you think like an hacker. If you know that it goes from the reconnaissance to the scanning to the gaining access to the maintaining access to the covering tracks, you can defend like a guardian, because you know when an hacker is is gathering information about you. You know when an hacker is scanning you. You know when an hacker is trying to gain an access. So if you're a very good hacker, you can even pick somebody from here, cybersecurity expert. You can pick somebody from here. So people mostly pick people from here, and by the time they pick people from here, the person has already gained access and has made impact. So let's move on. So reconnaissance, what does reconnaissance mean? These are the things we have under reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is manipulating people for information. It's called social engineering, the ability to send mails that will force people, push people to click a link. There was a time I did a social engineering for somebody and I bet that I know the person's password. I know the person's this and that. The person said, never, he's going to pay me so amount. I don't know his password. I said, okay. By the time the person tells me, I said, I'm going to ask the person 5 questions and I'm going to answer all the whole 5 questions and I will get 3 and the person will pay me. Not knowing that a long time ago, almost a year, stylishly, I've been asking that person the kind of question. Oh, I love dogs so much. Do you love dogs too? Oh, there was a time I had 4 dogs, Jenny, Jennifer, and Samson. And you cannot believe one was Chihuahua, one is Rottweiler, one is Boabul. I don't like Babu. Oh, I just love one dog. What is that? What is the name of your dog? That is where I'm going. Okay, what is the name of your dog? Before you do, the person just throws caution into the wind and just do it. And there was a time I was able to get the date of birth of one of my colleague by saying, I'm a January born, and which is not correct, which is not true. I'm a January born. I'm a Pisces. I love water and I love this thing. So sometimes when you see me, I talk too much. I'm a sanguine. It's because I'm. What about you? You don't talk. Are you born in April? No. Are you born in September? No. When were you born? November. Oh, I've written that down. Don't try to get all your information once. November. November what? Because I think you people that are November to 1 to 21 are Sagittarius. No, I'm a Scorpio. Oh, so you mean you are 22 to when exactly? They leave the year, you get that one later. So these are ways you can social engineer somebody by speaking. You can social engineer anybody by getting close to him. There was the last class I told you, I explained to you about how a guy social engineered and tried to gain access, carried out a reconnaissance on a man for 11 years. So hacking is not a one-click kind of thing. Hacking has phases. So when somebody tells you to hack a particular kind of thing for him, you might need 3 months at least. The guy was able to hack this man after 11 years. He was unable to get that man for 11 years, but when he got to the 11th year, he had to get married to the daughter of the man just to hack the man. He got married to the daughter of the man, and that was how he was able to get the trust of the man, and he hacked the man. He was the driver for the man, was everything. But at this stage of reconnaissance, you are non-intrusive. Why? What do I mean? You are gathering information about your target. Look at this. I am not intrusive at this stage. I've gotten all this information, but the person I am performing this information about does not know. This person does not know. It hardly have an impact. You don't connect with them, you don't touch with them. And how do you get them? You get this information from things like their company websites, social media like LinkedIn, and Google, and also tools like whois.com. This time you don't have impact of them. You're only trying to gather information. What are the things? Who are the people working for them? I could put my company right now in Google, and you begin to see some intrusive informations about them. And there's something called Google Docs. I'm going to get there. I'm going to be teaching you Google Docs, how you can search in index of. There was a time I was just bored. For the sake of this class, I was I was just googling something, and I was just typing something, and I can see people's WhatsApp messages. See, index of WhatsApp messages. WhatsApp messages. Can you see? You see, WhatsApp media and camera for somebody backing up WhatsApp. See WhatsApp messages that somebody is backing up. Can you see that? So I don't want to open this to cause a lot of trouble in this thing, but I'm only telling you that there are some Google Docs you can use that can help you to bring out some people's WhatsApp images folder, usually from backups. It is inside exploit DB. When you are searching for index of WhatsApp images, this is it. In title, you can use you can use index of. Sometimes I just do this sometimes to to just entertain myself. You see some things, some content. You see some content that some people upload, and you just be wondering, can you see this? See, some people's messages, pool party, WhatsApp image. Oh my God. Can you see? Can you see? WhatsApp image. These are things you can see. See, this is back. Can you see? This is a backup of somebody's folder. This is a white man, definitely. This is a pull image. You can see some other things. Thank God this is not too intrusive. But there are Google Docs you can use to get information. See, there are some things you just go through and you get some intrusive information. By the time you keep going through this index of, you'll be scared that you would see some things. My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is the index of WhatsApp image of somebody. Wow. 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 This is it. This person went for mountain climbing, and this person could see one or two things. Can you see? This person is an adventurist. Thank God it's not too intrusive, but at least we can see some information about this. Can you see? This is actually entertaining, and I want to add it to my bucket list. Okay, this is the owner. We can see this. This is the owner. If I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, I'm to blur this place. This is the owner. Possibly this is the person. So these are the things that you can find in Google. You'll be shocked what you can see in Google by using some things we call Google Docs. Some things we call Google Docs. I'm trying to see if I can get some Google Docs link apart from this. I opened it down, but it seems I've closed it. But I'm going to be taking that. But this is just to show you that we can actually get some intrusive information. Also, I can show you how you can look at live webcam. Live webcam. You see some live webcam of some people's front door. You can see some things because we are still in the phase of introduction. I don't want to go into full practical by now, but you're going to see them, how it's being done, how hackers can gather information and spy on people. So before you can deploy an IP camera, you should know what you need to do, or you can tell the company what they need to do. That all IP cameras, there's a site you can get that from, showdown.io. Showdown.io is a search engine for webcam. That is Internet of Everything. You can go there and get a webcam. You can go there, get CCTV cameras, get webcams and Internet of Things, and you can monitor people from around the world through their IP addresses. You can just look at it. These are honeypots. Honeypot, I can see it. I'll tell you what an honeypot means. And these are their ports that you can use to look at them. So you can see this is a cloud. So you can click on this and try to see if you can have access to people's camera. And you can just be watching people. Some of them are intrusive. It's some people's personal in-house view. And it will just be out there, just like that. It will just be out there, and one way or the other, it's not things that's supposed to be seen. So one time during my early years in hacking, I do come to Showdown to be able to see some things in Android debug bridge. These are cameras. These are live cameras. These are live cameras. This place is a very huge place. But I don't want to click into it because some of them might have some things that might possibly want to get the location of somebody trying to access them. So I would not want to go into them, but in the next class, I might show this. And this is the UIs also. Can you see? There's a UIs here. It's training me to log in. So I will show you how you can get a live camera from all these kind of things. So what am I doing like this? I am simply recognizing. I am simply recognizing. It's probably the longest phase. Like I told you, somebody is 11 years. Sometimes it lasts for weeks, sometimes it lasts for months, depending on what you want to do. Or you can even do it just to look for which open ports. There was a time we were searching for a particular website, we scanned it online, and we were able to get a site that is not secured, that has an open port. And that would be easy to hack. And we also have dumpster diving. Dumpster diving is when an hacker goes into a particular organization and every printed document from the finance team or from the MD or from the DMD, deputy manager, or from the CEO, all the papers they throw on the floor, he tries to gather them. All the ones that are being torn, he goes to a dustbin, he dumps them into his bag, and then he gets home, he begins to arrange them one by one just to seek information. Dumpster diving. We rarely do this nowadays, but people are still doing it. They retrieve discarded documents, they arrange it just to be able to get information. That is why you never see me go to any shopping mall and after printing with my details or after purchasing some amount of fuel, buying gas into my car, after fueling my car, the receipt they give to me has some details. I make sure I tear them, destroy it, and throw it into a canal of water where nobody can go there immediately and pick any part of it to rearrange. Or sometimes it could be so funny that when I tear all these kind of receipts, tear this kind of payment evidences, I can walk as far from my house to my office. I'll be throwing them off one by one. It's as funny as that. Cybersecurity ethics made me do that. Once I leave my house, I drop one. Before you know, I'll drop 50 in a very long distance. Who wants to gather all those? Even my recharge cards, when I was still recharging from cards, I don't drop them. A lot of things could happen and they could pick your recharge card and drop it at the scene of the crime. So these are called dumpster diving and social engineering, like I've explained, when they send you a mail. I can give you an example of a mail that is sent to me, and the mail is telling them, click this now for us to verify that your mail is still active. Click it before we delete your account. Put your username and password. All these things is social engineering. When you sense a source of urgency in a mail to push you to do something, it's called social engineering. It could be used with the word of mouth. It could be used in a very funny way. It could be used through a mail. But more often than not, recent times, we do social engineering through mail and chats. Through mail and chats. So domain management, you can, like I explained, and I showed some practical who is lookup, DNS interrogation. You can do some DNS interrogation to know where it's coming from. This is a DNS server. It's called domain name service. This is a DNS, abuja.ns, domain name service, Abuja, ugoos.com. There's the Lagos one, and so on and so forth. So these are reconnaissance. Now, after reconnaissance stage, you are sure that you've gotten what you need to get. It has told you what you want to do. The next thing, you begin to scan. You begin to scan your targets. We're going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to be scanning our targets in this hacking. We're going to be using Nmap. There's an online Nmap where we can scan our targets, the kind of port that is open, and so we can hack it. And we can look at weak password protection. We can begin to look for data in transit. I'm going to be doing that with Wireshark. We're going to be doing that with Wireshark. We're going to be looking at people entering their username and password, and you are grabbing what they are sending their username and password in a site that is not secured. Network mapping is understanding the network topology to be able to get access to it, and device fingerprinting, making a model of a network, and also using open services such as what is running on each port. I will explain this into details. So after scanning, you gain access. You try to get what loopholes they have and try to gain access. Then gaining access to resources is the whole point of a modern day attack. The usual goal is to either extract information which is of confidential value, or use the network as a launch site to attack other targets. So they will not be able to get to. So it's a successful exploitation, and it means access granted, and we can do anything. So we're going to be exploiting some servers in this class, and after exploiting the server in this class, we gain access and we can download some important information from them. And maintaining access means once you are inside, you want to stay inside because it might be useful to you what you're gaining from inside that place, especially when you hack an Android phone. You may want to retain your access. So what you do is that you send a particular kind of a remote toolkit. Remote root kit rather. It's called root kits. It's hide an attacker's presence and it's like a backdoor. That what are backdoors? Backdoors are software's exploits that stays inside a system you don't know, but it gives you remote access to be able to connect to that system and do whatever thing you are doing as if you are live on that system. There was a time I know that software is no longer used any longer because it was when I was using Windows 7. Um, there was a particular kind of software that is called Armageddon Backdoor. It's here. It's here in Microsoft. They've got it. It's called Armageddon Stealer. It's a credential theft malware. Is a credential theft malware that we used to use at that particular time. That Armageddon backdoor, what you do with it is that once you gain an access, it shows you exactly what is in that person's system, and you begin to perform some actions like when the person carries the mouse here, you drag the mouse back. You can click something like the CD-ROM should be opening continuously. As the person is closing it, it will open again. As the person is closing it, it will open again. You can say mouse go crazy. The mouse will be dancing on the screen like this. Mouse will go crazy. You can shut the system down. You can say display browser on the screen 500 times, 5 million times. The person will close, will shut down every time. So all those things are backdoors. I used them at that particular time then. So those are maintaining access and you can use it to do anything, and it's called persistence. It survives the boot and log out. So when you log out and you log in again, connection continues. So covering tracks. So covering tracks is when you are done hacking, you go into a particular place that you know the location where all the things you do are being saved. So you go there, you go and delete all your logs. You find a particular file where all the directories of whatever you do is being hidden. Because when you want to do forensics, when after a hacking, what do? They go into a log file and begin to analyze what has happened in that system, if the hacker was able to cover his tracks or not. So all you need to do is you need to clear your history, you need to get out, install rootkits and traffic obfuscation. So encrypting and hiding command and control traffic and timestamps manipulation. So those are covering of your tracks, and also covering tracks could also be making use of defensive measures like you could use VPNs. You can use VPNs before you start your hacking, so people will not be able to get access to you directly. So looking at this, I want to explain what CIA triad means in cybersecurity. In school, you're going to be meeting a whole lot of this in school. You're going to be seeing something like this in school. CIA triad is the foundation of information security. This is exactly what gave birth to cyber security. CIA triad is the foundation of information security. Every security control we implement is designed to protect one or more of these three principles. Understanding them is essential for our security professionals. So when we talk about confidentiality, integrity, and availability, even at a particular time, data must be confidential. So every data that you want to access, you must have what we call authentication. I come again. To every data you want to access, there must be what we call authentication. So confidentiality in cybersecurity means only access users can process and can access or modify their data at a particular time. And this is ensured through proper encryption and access controls and authentication. Meaning, data must be confidential. Only people, I repeat, only the people who are entitled to the data is the people who have access to the data. That is confidentiality. Integrity means at a particular time, that data must not be tampered. It must not be bigger than the normal expected information, and it must not be smaller than the normal expected information. For example, if you have a data, a picture, or a PDF file, and you send to your boss to verify what you have done, and you know when you are sending or a copy of that system, that file on your system is 2 megabytes. And when your boss sends back the file and says, I'm done going through it, I've made my corrections, you can click on it and view it, and the data is now 15 MB, the integrity of that data is lost. I repeat, the integrity of that data is lost. So what does integrity means as a pillar of information? It simply implies that data must be maintained in a correct state. It must be intact, untouched. Even a full stop must not change. Maybe I'll talk about a particular hacking skills. I will show you. It's called homoglyph. Homoglyph. Homoglyph is a particular kind of hacking that we do to change the originality of, okay, this is a detector. I'll talk about this. I'm coming. Homoglyph generator. Yeah. This is an homoglyph generator. Everybody watch this now. If I type Instagram.com, my site is supposed to go to Instagram.com. Is that not true? My site is supposed to go to Instagram.com at this particular time. Can you see? It has not been tampered. This data still has its integrity. Let me do something for you to understand this. You're going to see this when we are doing this. Now, look at this. Watch this. If you over on this, Instagram.com, look at this place. Look at this place. Watch this place my mouse is. This particular place. Watch the kind of site that will come. Look, Instagram.com. But do you know I can change this eye to a different eye that looks like it? I've changed it. It looks like the same thing, but it's not the same thing. If you over your mouse, it's navigating me to xn-nstagram-735b.com. This is no longer Instagram.com. Look at this. I can change the Instagram. I can change. Let me see where. Okay, I would like to change the M. Yeah. Yes. See. Look at the site it's taking me to. I can now let me prove to you that it's not the same thing. Watch this. Let me prove to you it's not the same thing. Let me reload. This is what we call integrity. A cybersecurity expert must know Instagram.com. Now, if I copy this and I come to this place and I paste it, let me increase it. And I paste it. What is this? Instagram.com. Is it the same thing as this? Yes. Okay. See where it's taking me to. Let's copy it. You think you are saying Instagram.com, but my brother, you are going somewhere different. Is it the same thing?
No.
See this I. See this I. If I copy this Instagram.com, it takes me to where? It takes me to this site. It takes me here. Can you see? But if you're an hacker, you can use this information to go and buy a website domain. I know Mr. Williams, CEO of Fingerprints Digital, we understand. If I go to ugoos.com and I want to buy a domain, search domain, they will tell me it's available. Is that not true?
Yes.
Because it's not the same thing. But if I send this to somebody, they will tell, the person will click it and enter their details.
Exactly.
Homoglyph. Now, let me show you something. If you click Instagram.com and I've changed it and I copy this, it is not taking me to the same site. See, search is not secure. But I'm going to be sending a mail to social engineer you, and you're going to be saying Instagram.com, and you're going to be saying it is the same thing. See, how would you know the difference? You have to be a cybersecurity expert to be able to identify this. This is what we call mail header analysis. This will come in your exam. This will come in your lecture. How to analyze mail header. All you just need to do is to go to sites like this, a detector, copy the link, copy this link. Let me remove this. Copy this link and analyze it even though it's looking as it. You see, imagine a detector, a site that is having detector is at the same time having, I'm coming. We have a lot. If this one is not working, we have other ones. Imagine a site that has a detector can also have a generator. So this is it. I'm pasting Instagram.com. See, one homoglyph detected. And it's, see, it highlighted it. See. See. If you're a cybersecurity expert, you will know how to stay safe from all these attacks. Homoglyph. So let's see if I'm going to do Facebook, facebook.com. I can go back to the generator and generate facebook.com. Let's see what it's going to give us. Because I used to use 00 as face. I used to type it like this, 00K. So facebook.com. Let's generate. Let's see what it gives us. It's even telling us what is the intensity. Visual similarity, yes. Generate, see. You see, regenerate. This is what it means. What you just saw now, this is exactly what it means. But when we copy it and we paste it for you, you'll be seeing facebook.com. And it has a 0 with a width space in it. So homoglyph is all these tools are used by hackers. I can easily buy a domain and get this. I say I want to buy a domain, and this is where it's going to be leading you to. So as a cybersecurity expert, you must be careful of fake text. Facebook that is not Facebook. It's not the same thing as let's be careful. And the worst part that owes people mostly, I know that even Mr. Williams will be guilty of this. Most of us have seen sites like this. Is that not true? Can you confirm that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You know it's totally different from a site like this, and I know many of you has gone to this kind of site before. Why can't you talk again, Mr. Why can't you talk again? And it's also different from sites like this. Many of us have seen things like this, and we have made a mistake to click it and enter our username and password. I'm going to be teaching you how you're going to be building a real life password stealer. Facebook, real life in this course, if time permits me. I'm going to be teaching you the Kali Linux version of generating the site, but I'm going to be teaching you a real life with real AI tools. We develop exactly the same thing, such as facebook.com, and you're going to code it. You don't need to know coding. I'll just teach you how to do it. You know coding and you will host it, and people will click on sites like this. www, you just post word like this. Okay, don't let me type it. You just say, if you want to see the latest nude picture of this artist, click on this link. Before they click it, it takes them to your fake website. When they get to their fake website, they're ready to want to see Nigerian Baltazar. They want to see Nigerian Baltazar photos that has been leaked. They want to see it. They enter their username and password, and it automatically redirects them to the real website. And they ignorantly type in their username and password. They enter and they don't send it, and they not be saying, maybe they've brought down the what do we call it now? The link, not knowing that you've gotten the username and password. Bam, you do anything you like with it. That is why you go to dark web, and you see many people can sell a real life Facebook account to script kiddies, to Yahoo guys, because you've mistakenly clicked on sites that looks like this, which is wrong, which is very, very wrong. Please, henceforth from today, double check your site and don't believe any site. It is called integrity. So you can see how, with the help of showing you a practical step, and the kilobytes will definitely be different. With the help of showing you a practical step, this Instagram.com has lost what? Integrity. Data must be accurate to whoever that has access to it. Data must not be tampered with. Hence, cybersecurity. When the data has been tampered with, then that data has lost its integrity. Then availability. Availability means only authorized users have access. Now, I'll come again. It's different from confidentiality. Confidentiality means every document, every data must be authorized before you can access it. There must be an authorization, like a username and password, multi-factor authentication, phone code, tokens, before to confirm that you are the person. It's called, see, remove confidentiality, and the real word about it is this word: identity. What is your identity? To show that it is you. So data must be available to whoever that is meant for it to be. And at that particular time, okay, it's my time. It's my time. I'll just take little overview, then I'll move on. Then we'll continue from the next class. And the next class is going to be having practical. I thought we're going to be doing some practical today, but possibly by God's grace, we're going to be launching our app. At that particular time, we're going to be setting up our first what do we call it now? Lab, which is Kali Linux, and we're going to be working on some Kali Linux command. So data must be available to who is supposed to be available to, and this is CIA triad in details. You can go online to this same link and read about this. So the time that somebody requests for a data, that data must be available to that person at that exact time. If that data is not available, that means something has happened, which simply means maybe there's a DDoS attack. A DDoS attack is when you launch millions of requests to a particular site that the site cannot undo again, then the site crashes. Then something is ongoing at the background. These are the things you will be called to protect against. CIA triad in cybersecurity. Okay, I am going to be ending it up here today, and we're going to be continuing from here in the next class.
Okay,
The next class, we're going to be talking about information security terminologies. You need to know about all this. What does assets means? What does vulnerability means? What does threats means? What does exploits means? What does risk means? What does zero-day attack means? What does daisy chaining means? Or what does doxing means? When we are through with all these, then we enter straight into setting up our lab. You can go ahead and read before the class, so I can be faster than this. We can move fast into the practical because I prefer the practical than the theoretical part of it. The theoretical part is more exhausting, but the practical part is do, watch, and practice. And make sure you fix your system. If your system is bad, give it to your instructor, Mr. in the person of the head lead director of Fingerprints Digital, Mr. that gave you this platform. Thank you so much for giving me this platform, Mr. Williams. Give him your laptop. Make sure you fix it, and at least you must have 8 gig RAM. At least, like I show you in the last class, my laptop has 32 gig RAM. That is what I'm going to be using. And I have 1 terabyte SSD, and I'm using Ultra 9, Ultra 7 rather. So it's a very heavy. That is why you're going to be seeing that my works are going to be very, very smooth. Though as an instructor and cybersecurity expert is expected, but you should have at least 8 gig because I'm going to be teaching you how to automatically configure your lab that will not disturb you automatically. So I'm going to be giving you another way of how you can also configure it in the stressful one. They do the same thing, but I'm going to be giving all my students the easy part, the easy way, the easy method of doing it, that if they wake them up at any time, they don't need to look at any instruction. They just deploy it at 2 clicks. The lab is already ready automatically, including the network settings. So we'll look at the virtual machine. I'm going to be explaining everything in virtual machine. What is going to be, what does this one mean? What does this one mean? All these things, what does it mean? And we're going to be looking how to import our machine, how to create a Kali Linux, how to create a Windows machine, how to create a Metasploitable machine, and how to deploy all these kind of things in the next class. That is it for today. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to take you. And this is a
Thanks, sir.
wonderful one. If there's any question, I'd like to entertain question now at this particular time.
No, sir, no question.
Okay, if there's no question at this moment, thank you so much and have a very wonderful day. By Monday, this video will be uploaded. So if you want to revisit it again, you can always revisit it. Thank you and have a nice night. God bless.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simeon. We appreciate your time.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Take care of yourself.
Okay,
Enjoy.
good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night.